Hello guys, it's a beautiful day and today we're going to be talking about how to modernise your car for less than 20 quid. Cheap and effective car mods. So if, like me, you don't like these god-awful halogen T10s and the halogen look, orange, not very nice. So what we're going to do today, we're going to upgrade. And how we're going to do that? Cheap and effective. Just like this, with these GLL LED bulbs, high quality, low cost LEDs. So here we have, we've got some T10s and we've got some festoons. We're going to do the license plates, we're going to do the side lights, we're going to do the lights underneath, the wing mirrors for the puddles, and we're going to do the interior. Cheap and effective mods. And I'll tell you why we're going higher quality but lower cost, because if you go too low you get really naffy ones that die very quickly. However, with the GLL bulbs they should last because they're a sort of mid-range but still very cheap. It's a very cheap, very effective car mod. So let's get on with it. So here's what we have. Interior, small T10s, ceramic, voltage regulated. Exterior, we have T10s, slightly bigger, a lot brighter, also regulated, and we have the festoons for the license plate and the boot. Very, very bright, and they have a heatsink and also regulated. Awesome. So let's pop them in, see the difference. This is what it currently looks like with the god-awful halogen. Super easy to sort. We'll do that now. So you pull out your side light bulb, just there, little T10, little halogen, and you pop it out, you put it to one side, you get your new one, and you pop it in, and you pop that one in, and you're done. Then you make sure the polarity is right by turning on the side light, and it's hella bright. How much? Oh, wow, it can't. The camera can't even deal with that. That's it's hurting my eyes. Jeez. Let's just turn the aperture down, right down. As you can see, there's 6 on one side. There is 6 on the other side, and they are hecka bright. So then you turn it off and you pop it back in the holder. And that is in. You put your headlight back, clip, and check out the difference. Ho ho ho! Boom! Nice! That is incredible. Exactly the same process on the other side, and now we have extremely bright side lights, also known as parking lights, I do believe. So let's move on to the puddle lights. Puddle lights, exactly the same process. Pop them down, pull them out, and in here we have, I shall just turn it on to show you, in here we have another guffy halogen. Orange, pointless, dim, and barely fit for purpose. Doesn't light anything up. About there, yeah, and then pointless. It's supposed to help you, tell you where there's puddles. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the other exterior. As you can see, there's a lot of circuitry on that to make sure that the voltage is correct, regulated, decent, don't burn out like the very cheap ones. I'll leave a link in the description for where you can get these exact bulbs. All the links for these bulbs on Amazon. You can upgrade your car for less than 20 quid. Cheap and effective upgrades make a massive difference to the look of the car. So here's what we do. Pop it out, pull out the halogen, pull out the halogen one, boop, pop it to one side, get your new upgraded LED, get your LED, pop it in, push it in there, again turn it on to make sure the polarity is correct, It is. I do believe that these are actually, you can turn them round, so I'm going to show you this now. I'll pop it back out again and turn it around, because a lot of the very cheap ones won't go both ways. A lot of the very cheap ones won't go in either way. They won't reverse polarity because they're LED. I am impressed. Look at that. Doesn't matter which way you put it in. I've actually never had that with an LED T10. You always have to faff about. You put it in, you go around, you figure out which way it is. That's impressive. I'm impressed. Well done, GLL. Reverse polarity. You can have it in either way. Doesn't matter. And off it is, and there's no afterglow like you get with cheap ones. Once it's off, it is off. No running your battery down. It definitely pays to just put in a couple of extra quid just for the higher quality ones, because I buy the cheap Wish crap or 10 for a fiver thing. So if you know, just get the better ones, click it in. It pays to get slightly better ones, and off you go. Look at that. Actually lights stuff up all the way down. Brilliant. Other side, exactly the same. As I said, we're on the other side, exactly the same. Pop it down, pull out the halogen, pop in the LED. Again, doesn't matter which way, because we're clever enough to do it with circuitry to make it either way polarity. Pop it back in, pop in the cover, and pop it back up, and you're done. Absolutely brilliant. Let's move on to interior then. And again, this is why I don't go mega cheap. They're not reverse polarity, they're not protected. Overall, they're terrible. I already upgraded these, they lasted about 5 months. And now they do that. So then you get your GLL ones. Pop it down, pull them out, pop in your new ones. Oh, wow. Alright, which are quite considerably brighter. They are ridiculous. Interior, these ones are not reverse polarity. I'll show you what I mean. When you pull them out, turn it round, put it in, it won't work. So it's only the exterior that are reverse polarity. They're a lot more protected, I guess. And wow, that's incredible. They are so bright. Pop your cover back on. And you're golden. And considerably brighter. Quite a lot brighter. And there you have cheap, easy upgrade for your interior. Very good. Same again on the front. And you now can see what you're doing, because the halogen ones are absolutely terrible. And again, don't go for the really cheap ones. I'll put a link in the description for these. And very cheap, very easy upgrade. So let's move on to boot. We are now in the boot. This is a halogen one, absolutely dreadful, barely lights anything up. You can also get very cheap, nasty LEDs, just like these. They have no circuit protection, none at all. They're not reverse polarity, it's just 3 SMDs with a small resistor to drop the voltage slightly. So what you want is GLL 36 LED. This is the brightest one for the boot. It's got resistors on either side, reverse polarity, and it has a little bit more circuitry, including a MOSFET just there, just to make sure. And then for anywhere, because this is going in a metal housing, it doesn't really matter, but for external, we have heat sinked these will go in the number plate light. They don't get overly hot, they don't use any electric really, they don't use much current at all, so you could probably leave them on for a fair while. Like if you forget that your side lights are on overnight, probably wouldn't kill your battery. Wouldn't recommend it, but if you accidentally did, it wouldn't do your battery in. So these are going in the license plate lights. So let's see how we do the boot one then. Get your little tool, pop it down, pull it out, get your nappy halogen, pop that out. You don't need this, by the way, you can just use a knife or anything. Pop that out. Place your bright new nice one in so you can actually see what you're doing in your boot. Wow. That is hella impressive, man. It's so bright. Coloured chips. Woo! Nice and bright. Turn it around because that's going to point upwards. On it downwards, pop it back into the housing, click it back in, and now you can see what you're doing in your boot. Look at this, it's night time outside, look how bright it is. It's not really, but still, wow, very good. Now, license plate lights. Number plate lights. Probably will have a couple of T10 screws, and then this is a nappy halogen one. That's a crappy, cheapo LED one. So you'll probably have a couple of T10s, pops out, take your bulb out, place your new one in. I believe these are probably reverse polarity also. Place your new one in, push it up into the housing. Clicks into place and you screw your screws back in. Let's see the difference between these higher quality versus the very cheap ones. Higher quality, very cheap. Can you tell the difference? Very cheap. 3 naffy little SMDs from no reverse polarity. Good one. Much better colour rendition, much whiter, a lot brighter. Move on to the next one. As I say, same process on the other side. You take your cheap one out, cheap nappy one out, put your new good one in, line it up, pop it into place, pop it into place. Check that it works. It do. Very bright, very good. And then you put your screws back in. Stick it all back together and you have successfully upgraded your car. All your LEDs for cheaps. You also, a lot of cars also have footwell lighting. You can upgrade those. Under the door lighting, you can upgrade those. As I said, I'll put a link in the description of where you can get these. Makes a huge difference to the overall look of the car, and it barely costs anything. So this is probably one of the cheapest and most effective car mods that you can get for your car. Links in the description, and when it gets a bit darker, take it somewhere, show you how much difference it made, how much nicer it looks. Get them on Amazon. Pretty cheap, very effective. Peace out.